Hey besties, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Stels. If you're new here, welcome. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for tuning in. Today we're going to talk about something. I just came out from Brampton I went to see a friend who just had a baby, and I asked some questions and I said I have to share this information because prior to now, I did not know that it was this expensive to come and have your baby in Canada. I'm not talking about permanent residents. I'm not talking about citizens. I'm talking about Nigerians, Africans who come all the way to Canada to come and have their babies. I know that there was a time there was a US boom that people were traveling to the United States to have their babies, but now Canada is the wave. People are coming to Canada to have their babies. Now, is it that easy? Is it that simple? Let me tell you what I know. For you to travel into any country, you need to have permission to get into that country. So you need to have a visa into that country, right? So you have your visa, either self application or use an agent, fine. Then you're in the country. You need to have accommodation. So before you come into the country, you can actually book on Airbnb places you can stay, a place you can stay rather. Or if you have friends and families in the city that you want to have your baby, good for you. It's going to save you a lot. Also, the hospital you want to use. Now, you can have someone go into the hospital to make inquiries for you. Or when you come into, if you come in earlier than your delivery date, you can actually go into any hospital to make your inquiries. Now, these hospitals work with doctors that would have to refer you to that hospital. Now, that's the way it works here. A doctor has to give you a referral to the hospital that you have your baby. Now, saying that doctor, okay, before we even go into that safe, before you come, you have to find out the airline you're about to fly. Find out if they can allow you to fly at a certain stage of your pregnancy. Because some airlines, they carry 38 weeks year old pregnant woman. No. So you have to find out, find that out. And there are some women that even these guys, they don't even declare that they're pregnant and they just wear a heavy winter coat and they fly. So, and ensure that you come with your medical records. That one is a no-brainer because obviously you've been having antenatals, you've been doing scans and all whatnot in your home country. Come with all those medical records to Canada. Now, when you're coming, come with money. If you don't have a dollar card, please come with a dollar card because when you land, if you don't have someone that will come and pick you, obviously you need to book Uber from the airport to your destination. And if you have a dollar card, you would have already loaded your dollar card. Link your dollar card to the Uber when you come. Put in the destination of your Airbnb, voila. It's not as easy, but I'm telling you that if you know this information, it gives you first-hand information. If you know this earlier, it gives you first-hand information so you don't get stranded. Now, if you land in Canada, the airport has Wi-Fi because I know you'll be worried that, oh, okay, so how do I buy SIM and all of that? The airport has Wi-Fi and you can actually access your Uber at the airport. Then ensure that the Airbnb you're also getting has Wi-Fi as well to make life easy for you. But if you're staying with family, I think that's even better for you as well. So when you land in Canada, you need to get a SIM card at least so that you can communicate. And when you're filling the form in the hospital, you need to put in your mobile number in case they have to reach you for certain things now. So getting a SIM card is like this. There are some people that don't sell SIMs to foreigners because I don't know why. So you need to find out properly and go to those that can actually sell SIM cards for you. That one is that one. Then let's talk about the requirements that I know of that she mentioned. You need to buy a stroller. When you want to go and have a baby in a Canadian hospital, you need to buy a stroller and a car seat. They will not let you leave the hospital if you don't have those two things. So ensure you have that, a stroller and a car seat. So that one is that one. Then before, I know that when you go and give birth in a hospital, they used to give you bag of baby things. It's not like that anymore. Economy have changed. Things have quite. So my friend was not giving a lot of things. With the amount she paid, I was expecting that, that's why I didn't buy any baby thing because I was like, let me go there and see what she doesn't have before I begin to order it online. I was thinking I would see a room full of baby items, but that's not the case anymore. You have to actually go and buy your things. They will give you some things, don't get me wrong, like some few diapers and all of that, but nothing in abundance. Nothing in abundance. So let's talk about the cost implications of having your baby in Canada. Now, first of all, I mentioned that you have to see a doctor that is going to refer you to the hospital that you have your baby. That doctor can cost you as much as $4,000. If you don't know, Now you know. In as much as you bring your medical records from Nigeria, they might require you to run some certain tests and scans as well, which might cost you as much as $2,000. If you don't know, now you know. Now, if you have a vaginal birth in Canada, it can cost you as much as $6,000 to $7,000. If you don't know, now you know, as an international, as a foreigner. Now, if you spend an extra day, for example, you have your baby today in the hospital and tomorrow you still stay in the hospital and leave next tomorrow, they will charge you 2 nights, which is not, if you don't, if you leave the next day, that $6,000 to $7,000 is what you pay. But if you stay an extra night, maybe they find out your baby has jaundice or you have complication or whatnot, you are going to pay as much as $11,000. If you don't know, now you know. They almost did my friend one jimbo that she spent 2 nights, because it doesn't start counting till you have your baby. So, for example, you go into the hospital today and you don't have your baby till 2 days after, it's not counting. What is only going to count as number of days is the day you have your baby. Then, if you spend more days after that, that is when they'll now begin to bill you extra days. So, for example, she was at the hospital on Friday. Her baby did not come till Saturday, and she stayed till Sunday. She left on Sunday, right? So she stayed just 1 night of after labor, but they wanted to bill her for 2 nights. But because she already knew this information, that's why information is key. Because she already knew this information, she had to fight it. And they said 2024, no grief for anybody. So she had to fight it, and they actually allowed her to pay just one day. So you have to know these things, guys, so that people will not use you. Because this Canada, the way they make money off foreigners a lot, international students, people that come to have their babies, and all of that. So if you now make mistake or condition conquer, you now have a cesarean section. You can pay as much as $11,000 in Ontario. And if you now stay, because obviously when you have a cesarean section, you cannot leave the hospital the next day. If you now leave the hospital 2 or 3 days after, just be calculating your bills. Like, just be calculating your bills. You already know what's up. You can end up spending as much as $13,000 to $15,000 if you have a cesarean section and you spend some extra days. So that is just for hospital bill. So now you ask yourself that, why are people spending all this money just to come and have their babies in Canada when the medical facilities in Nigeria is not that bad? It's not because of medical facility, it's because of the Canadian passport, guys. If you don't know, now you know. If you come to have your baby in Canada, your baby is going to have a Canadian passport. You are not going to have any. You are not the citizen, your child is. So after having your baby, what are the things you require to fill for you to have your child's Canadian passport? I might not know everything, but I'll just tell you what I know. I know you need to have a birth certificate for your child. So if you book an Airbnb, please book a couple of weeks ahead of your delivery date, because this process is not today, tomorrow you get it. Your baby's birth certificate can take as much as 2 to 3 weeks before it's ready. So, or even more. So don't just think that, oh, I brought my baby to the hospital, will write, just like in Nigeria, they'll give you a birth certificate when you're being discharged. It doesn't work like that. So it might take a while before you get your child's birth certificate. So don't let Airbnb kick you out. Make proper plans. So you get your child's birth certificate. You also need to register for a health card for your child in Canada. So for that, they can ask you for your international passport, your visa, your child's information. You need to take a passport for your child, and they have a standard dimension for the passports. So you have to go to people that know how to take those passports and take the passports with the right dimension for your child. Then, aside from that as well, you need to have, what is most important is you need to have someone who is a Canadian citizen that will stand as a guarantor for your child. Now, that one is difficult to, except you already know the person beforehand, because a lot of people here can be students, permanent residents, visitors, and all of that. So the person has to be a Canadian citizen for the person to actually sign as a guarantor for your child to get your Canadian international passports, right? So if you don't know, now you know. I don't know if I mentioned this earlier. Before you can leave the hospital, you're expected to actually have a stroller and also a car seat. If not, they will not discharge you. You cannot take their baby out of the hospital without a car seat. So, like I said, these are the things you need to do. Try and also be in a city where you know someone, or where you can, yeah, where you know someone, so that the person can actually help you with certain things. Okay. If you have had your baby in Canada, please, 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 please drop in the comment section. I would like to know more. I know I was not able to get as much as information, but the little one I got, I said, let me pass it across. Someone might need to hear this thing. So if you have more information, please put it in the comment section below. And I'll really, really be glad to read it and let us dialogue there. Okay. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I remain your girl Stels. Peace out.